So, round 2. What's going on, everybody? So today we're supposed to get like 1 inch of snow. So naturally they put like 1.5 inches, 2 inches of salt, and other shit on the floor, around roads. I'm also trying to have my phone rotated another way. I did not get the stand yet. Although I kind of like the angle of the video, because then I don't have to worry about getting somebody else in my shot. So that's good, I guess. I'll have to figure out how to set up a stand to have it essentially sit in my cup holder. I'm glad it's not falling over right now. If it does fall over, I'm sure that'll be loud for whoever is listening on headphones. I noticed that the audio is kind of quiet. I had to listen on max for my first video, but I don't know how to remedy that situation at this point. It's Friday, so there's that. Last night when I got home, it took me 2 tries to upload the first video, because the first time I did it, I had a unverified YouTube account. So I don't know, it took like 1.5 hours to upload the first one. Then after I verified it, and it had rejected the first one, so I had to redo that. It was another 1.5 hours. So I just let it upload while I went to sleep last night, and then I woke up in the morning with it uploaded. And what sucked though is because I had set up the description and everything, and then I felt like I lost it, and I had to recreate the description that I typed up the night before, or on my first attempt, not the night before. And I don't know, I just felt like that kind of sucked, because I had to redo that. First world problems, I know, whatever. watched some Terrence McKenna videos, some Jasprit Singh, I'm butchering his name, I know it, Jasprit Singh, Minority Mindset videos, some Joe Rogan Experience. I can't talk tonight. What else did I watch today? Then there's one I definitely can't pronounce right. It's like Kurzgesagt. It's always animated, and it's got like a little bird and a few other birds. It was the one that I watched today was just talking about UBI, Universal Basic Income, which I feel like it's a cool concept. Because you're getting money for free. I feel like that's a cool concept, but at the same time, there's the whole thing about wouldn't that devalue it? And I'm not a genius or anything, so I don't know how the money would just be created like they do with the banks. So, because they're saying it won't devalue the currency. Damn, you're going fast. It won't devalue the currency because it'll either come from taxes or it'll come from getting rid of all the welfare and Medicare systems. I don't know. Cool concept, but I don't fully understand it. Awesome. What else? I watched some, yesterday I watched a keto guy talking to Joe Rogan, and they were just kind of going back and forth, and it seemed like Joe Rogan was clearly winning the verbal argument, and then he showed some video of some keto guy like knocking somebody over, and so it was kind of weird to see that, but it almost looked like those hypnosis videos where there's like a certain amount of unrealism to it, where like the guy snaps his finger and the guy falls over. That's what I was kind of like thinking in my mind. And then today I watched actual like a keto, I don't know if he was a master, but a keto guy just kind of sparring with somebody. So it wasn't like an official match or anything. But he was sparring with some fighter. It said a keto guy versus MMA guy, but that's just what the guy put from the video clip. It was just a guy fighting, a guy that practices fighting. Then the Aikido guy, he said in the beginning that he had never been in a match. Like, he had never fought. He never fought somebody. And then the fighter was talking about it too. He said how there was, oh yeah, that's smart. Driving on the side of the road. Yeah. Fucking idiot. You can cut off a truck. That's a smart move. Should I do another side note? Don't cut off trucks on highways. Yeah, they can't stop as fast as you can. Alright? Aikido guy, something. Oh yeah, so he ended up fighting the guy, and it was. I was reading through some of the comments, and I think the comments actually nailed it that time. They were talking about how the guy was respectful. They were both pretty respectful of each other, which I thought was pretty cool. I'm not big into fighting or Aikido or either one of the things. It just caught my interest because I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast all the time, and so you end up, after time, you end up hearing more and more about MMA fighting just because it's fucking Joe Rogan. Come on. But it was cool how they both respected each other and their style to some extent. And the Aikido guy clearly knew that he didn't belong in the ring, but neither did his style. So that was my takeaway from it. He knew. So then I kind of feel like there's other people out there that think they know Aikido, and then let me say it again. I don't know Aikido. I don't know anything. I could even be saying it wrong for all I know. All right. I'm just speaking from the videos that I saw. I feel like he knew that Aikido doesn't belong in the ring. It's more or less, it's like a beginning part of self-defense. That's kind of what I got from it. So maybe it's good to know, but then you gotta, if you're gonna start fighting, you have to continue your fighting in other styles. You can't just only know Aikido. I don't know. Shoulder shrug if you guys can't see me, but yeah. Who's honking at who? Friday night, so everybody's honking at everybody. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but we're supposed to get, we're supposed to get like 1 inch of snow. Haven't seen anything yet. Somebody said it was flurrying earlier, so maybe we already got it. Nothing's stuck at all. There's more chemical on the road than there is snow. It might stay like that for weeks until we get the next snowstorm. Yeah, snowstorm. The next one. Because today definitely counted. Yeah. So I don't really think I did like I did a first video, but it wasn't really an introduction to me. I just started going into some random paradox discussion yesterday. I am John, and I live in Northern Virginia. I think I mentioned Tyson's Corner is near my house too. It's just my nightly commute, and I just figured I'd start doing this recording and see what happens. It's just me in the car. This morning on the way into work, I was thinking, well, maybe I should do 2 videos a day, like record my commute to work. And then I was thinking, my commutes in the morning going into work, are so much more hectic because you've got the time crunch to some extent. Some mornings are better than others. You look like you want to come in, but you don't have a signal on. So I'm not going to leave a space for somebody who is not telling me what they want to do. So, yeah. But the morning commute is just too crazy, you know. Oh, come on, man, make a decision. Look at me. I'm in my lane. The nightly commute is hectic enough, but there's no time crunch, so I don't need to be overly focused on driving. But if I ever did record my morning videos, then I'd have 2 a day, so that would be a quick way to make my goal. My goal is to do about 45 of these videos, at least just to kind of get an idea of what to do. That puts it well into mid-January, at least. So, mid to late January. Actually had set up this other channel a while back, but I didn't pursue it at the time. I just created the channel, but didn't take it anywhere. I called it Forming Fractal Worms. I think I had watched some video around that time discussing each dimension and how to visualize it, going all the way up to, I think, 10 dimensions from the zeroth dimension, and seeing them visualize, like kind of animated to some extent. It was pretty cool when they got to the 4th dimension, where they didn't necessarily describe it as the 4th dimension being time, rather no lights would. They didn't describe it as time, but they described it as all events that would happen in all of existence, I guess. No, that was later on. No, but anyway, the way they said to visualize it was, you have you're born at one end of your lifespan, and then at the other end you die, and that whole time you'd be connected, because there would be actually a lack of time. There wouldn't be a time to split up each frame that we see it as kind of like a movie, and in the 4th dimension you would see it as one whole thing, where you would see from birth to death would be you would be this long, like, worm-looking thing. And so then I was thinking about that more and more, and then I learned about fractals in some other video that I watched, and started linking the two because I was thinking about, well, the body is the same throughout the whole thing, but when you let's say the body that you had 5 years ago or 10 years ago, something, your whole body gets rebuilt or whatever. Like, you have all new bones, you've got all new skin, all new cells in your whole body, and so after, I forgot the number, it's like 7 or 10 years or something. We'll just call it 10 years. So every 10 years you got a new body, roughly speaking. Son of a bitch, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about before? Fractals? Oh yeah, so the atoms in our body, the cells, the atoms, molecules, everything, they wouldn't necessarily be along for the whole ride. There would be atoms that join you, and then atoms that you leave in the porcelain god or goddess, however you look at that. So you'd have these constant exchange, and as you zoomed in on your body that was supposedly at one point this long worm in the fourth dimension, as you zoom in, you'd have more and more of, like, let's say, for example, you eat a cheeseburger and it's got proteins in it that go to your hair, and then your hair, you go get a haircut and it's not part of your worm self anymore. I'm actually home now, but you actually get this thing where, and this fell. I wonder how long ago that fell. Oh well. And you can't see me anyway. I've got to get some stand. Maybe like right, yeah. Oh well. Anyway, see y'all later.